Hi, hello, how's it going? Okay, this is a bit of a weird place and a bit of a weird time of day to start a vlog. But I'm doing it anyway and see how it goes. My hair is a mess. I mean, this is what happens when you get up in the morning and leave your hair in a bun and don't bother to brush your hair all day. But anyway, you don't want to know about that. You want to know why I'm doing this vlog and what I'm going to be reading, I suspect. Okay, so not much has changed. Not much has changed since I last did World Book Day week reading vlog. Firstly, let me apologise for how late that was uploaded. But yeah, so still off work, still under a sick note, and still a little bit down in the dumps about life. Anyway, scratch all of that. We're gonna be reading some great books to get my mind out of all of this mess of life. Anyway, but I went to the hygienist, and of course I went to Waterstones, and I might have bought a few books. I've also got a library haul, and I recently bought a very interesting book off of Amazon as well, and it was also in sale, another reason why I just bought it. And I'm also currently reading a book series which I hear is also being made, or currently being filmed into a TV series. So that's also interesting. So we've got a lot of reads, quite a lot of reads. So yeah, this is going to be quite a messy vlog, as if you can already tell. So if you don't like messy vlogs, you are very welcome to shoo and come back for another vlog. But in the meantime, as you can probably tell, I'm in the bathroom. So I am going to do my teeth. Colgate sensitive, I have really sensitive teeth. Not gifted, not an ad, not sponsored, anything like that. So I'm going to do my teeth, have a shower, relax, and get to reading. Okay, these are the books that I bought recently. A Cruise to Murder by Dawn Brooks. I have never heard or never read any books by this author. So if any of you have read any books by this author, please let me know. But I love the sound of it. This is a book that I have heard of for a couple of years now, have not been able to find it anywhere, and then I walk into Waterstones and I see it on a shelf, so I'm very pleased about that. This is Consent by Annabelle Lloyd. I hope I'm saying the author's name right there. And I didn't know this, but it was a Women's Prize for Fiction of 2021. I did not know that, but it was. This I have been seen everywhere online this year, and I am not a fantasy reader by any stretch of the imagination, but this cover looks gorgeous, and the fact that it has sprayed edges as well is an added bonus. But saw this in Waterstones and I just had to get it. And once again, never read anything by B. Fitzgerald, so win-win. And this is by one of my favourite authors, I think, of this year, Sophie Cleverley. I've still got book 2 of the, is it Scarlet and Ivy series? I've still got book 2 of that series to read, and I did look to see if they had book 3. They didn't, but they did have this. I have not heard of this at all. It's called The Violet Veil Mysteries, A Case of Grave Danger. I'm not sure if this is a standalone or part of a series. I have no idea, but I'm really looking forward to starting that book. So we'll see what happens. These are my current reads. Now, this is the series that I believe is currently being filmed for a TV series, starring none other than Ruth? Yeah, I'm eating my own words already this evening. Starring Rose Aileen Ellis, and I cannot wait until that airs on TV. I so want to watch that after reading this book, because would you say I'm halfway through? Yeah, let's just say I'm halfway through. I'm halfway through of Dark Pines by Will Dean. This is the first book in the series. I don't even know what the series is called. It's a used copy that I bought. I can't remember where I got this copy from, but yeah, I am really enjoying that. So that's, and I'm also reading Diva? I think that's what that is. I'm really sorry. If you're new to my blogs, I'm dyslexic. So, Diva by Daisy Goodwin. Again, no, I have not read any of her books, but this book I have been seeing everywhere online, and I want to see what the fuss is about. And so far, it has been written very well. I cannot recommend the audiobook enough. I have also got this on audio as well. This is a library copy, so, and it's due back soon. I think it's due back on the 22nd of April. So, yeah, I've got to finish this one soon. I am also currently reading that, and I need to hurry up and finish this. So, it's very cleverly written, and I am in love. I will say that. With the cover, with the author, and with the story. Please excuse the camera angle. My phone is currently being charged. So excuse me. I've just come back from a workshop, and I've got through a really good chunk of Diva by Daisy Goodwin, and I'm currently now on chapter 11, which doesn't sound that much, but it was a pretty long chapter. I'm so glad I read it by audio. Yeah, chapter 10's a long chapter. Now, with this book, some chapters are incredibly short and other chapters are very, very long that go on forever. And I'm not a fan of very long chapters. So, yeah. It's nice to have the physical book and the audio. I mean, I was lucky that I had an Audible credit. I don't think this book is available on audio through my library. I should have checked that now, thinking about it. But I'm really enjoying this, and we're getting to quite a dramatic plot development now. So Maria is an opera singer, and she's Greek, and it's set around about the times of the Second World War. So I don't know much about Greece and its involvement in the Second World War. It's actually making me want to find out a little bit more. So it does mention Churchill, and how I'm having trouble finding the words to basically describe it without giving away the plot. So Maria has a very, very difficult relationship with her family. So basically, she grew up in poverty. I'm assuming during World War One. I think. Do not quote me on that. It's not very clear in the book, from what I can understand. And basically, her mother used her voice as a means to make money in order to buy food, and she does not get on with her mother and her sister because of that. And now jumping ahead into World War II, she's now working as a professional opera singer. But now, middle-aged, I'm assuming she's middle-aged, she now has to be very careful because obviously, if you're a singer, you'll know this, you've got to be careful when you're young and you are a talented singer. You basically have to be, not basically tire your voice too young too soon, because as you get older, you could severely damage your voice. And that's basically what she's doing now, or rather her management, the people who are managing her career, are doing to her now. And some other nasty so-called friends are doing to her now. So it's interesting, and I think it's interesting how Maria sees who basically love her and who her friends are and who is that. I mean, you're doing that your entire life, let alone when you're a teenager, when you're a preteen, when you're a child, etc. You're doing that your entire life, so it's no wonder she's still navigating that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and it's very well written. So it'll be interesting to see what's the author's name? Daisy Goodwin's backlist. It'll be really interesting. So I completely understand why this book's got a lot of hype online, so to speak. So I have just finished Not Diva. Unfortunately, Diva, I cannot renew the book on the library app. So that has to be returned, but I've still got my audiobook via Audible, so I will keep listening to that as well. Why am I so out of breath? So I'll keep listening to that as well. Dumbo in the background from the calendar. So we've got, sorry, I've got 2 library books that I'm going to be returning on my bed. Library isn't actually open. I'm just going to just be returning them in the little flap, whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm returning Diva, sadly, because I can't renew it. I probably renewed it too many times anyway. And I have just finished, oh my word, I have just finished Yarn of the Dawn Volume 1. I am shocked at how much I've actually enjoyed this. And I didn't quite give it 5 stars, I gave it 4.5. So many things that I just wasn't expecting. It was just like, there were so many suspenseful moments. Obviously, you've got the romance in there. Dare I say a love triangle, potentially? That is dissolved pretty quick. So if that's something like, oh no, I won't read it if it was a love triangle, that is resolved, diffused, whatever you want to call it. That is dealt with pretty quick. So I wouldn't be put off with that, if I'm being honest. So don't discourage that from, don't let that put you off from reading volume 1, certainly. But I was not expecting the amount of suspense in this volume. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, and the only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I was like, there were some moments where I was getting a little bit bored and it was a little bit dragging. I think that's a personal thing. I also didn't realise it was, stupidly, I might add, where it was fantasy romance. So, and me and the fantasy genre, I'm very picky with fantasy, put it that way. So that's the only reason. And actually, 4.5 stars is pretty damn good for me. So I'm definitely continuing with this manga series, and I've got to thank Kate is Reading on YouTube for introducing me to this. Watch her videos. She doesn't know me. I don't even know if she watches my channel, but I follow her on Instagram. I follow her on YouTube. and I watched her vlogs when she was reading the series. I have no idea whether she still is reading this manga series. There is an anime as well, so I could check that out as well. So yeah, thank you, Kate, for basically introducing me to this, and I'm loving it. Right, I've got to go to the library. I want to catch a school rush.
And together. But from the moment they sat down to dinner, Maria found herself trying not to notice what was happening at the other end of the table, where Aristo was flirting with Princess Grace, judging by the eddies of silvery laughter coming from the former film star. Maria was being monopolized by Prince Renier, Grace's husband, who knew nothing about opera, but was interested in using Maria to burnish the reputation of his principality. He kept asking her when she planned to return to the stage.
This is a bit of a weird angle, but my phone's on charge and I'm sat in a chair. So this is the angle you're going to get. Sorry, and a lot more time's passed. Sorry about that. But I've got a Waterstones pre-order, and I ordered this ages ago, so don't have a go at me for saying that I'm broke, because I am. And I ordered this ages ago when they first announced it. I think I ordered this even before they announced the pre-orders. I'm so tired, I'm so sorry. The pre-copies, sorry. So I'm not sure if this has got spray edges. I mean, I know it's red and gold. So, oh my gosh. Talk about sprayed edges. Look at that. I love it. Okay. Oh my word, and it's signed. Okay. So this is Can't Spell Treason Without T, a cozy fantasy steeped in love. Oh. So I basically bought this for the cover. Not gonna lie. But I had no idea about the sprayed edges. I had no idea that it was going to be signed. This just gets better and better. Absolutely better and better. I mean, just better, but I mean, look at that. It's got leaves. Oh! First in the series? I mean, hi, of course it is. Series sell more, of course it is. Anyway, not that it's going to deter me. I mean, yep. I mean, Rebecca Thorne. So, yeah, Rebecca Thorne. Sorry, I've never heard of the author either. So, actually, no, that's a lie. I have. I don't think I've read any of her work. I'm really sorry. I'm all over the place. Yeah. Ooh, this book is just so gorgeous. And the second book is A Pirate's Life for Tea. It's been a long while since I've updated this reading vlog. It's been quite a bit of a mess. But anyway, today's actually been quite a hard day. Yeah, it's been quite a hard day with my mental health. But anyway, so reading update on this vlog. So I think the last update is, or was, shall I say, with Diva by Daisy Goodwin. And since then, I have read Yon of the Dawn, Volume 1. I have read Dark Pines. That's the first book in the series by Will Dean. I have read Good Girl, Bad Blood by Holly Jackson. And I've read Five Survive, also by Holly Jackson. I have read Untamed by Goyle Gwen. I think I'm pronouncing the author's name wrong. It's her memoir It will all be on screen scrolling as I'm speaking. So I've read that, and I have also read my first Elizabeth O'Rourke book, Undertow. Shocked at the rating I gave that. A good shock, but yeah. So still making my way through More Than a Friend. Still making my way through. I can't remember the name of the other book. I'll stick it there. And so, am I halfway? No, I'm over halfway of That Girl She Was, finally. And some major plot twists have happened, which I don't want to exactly say because I don't want to spoil it. And I'm a little bit confused. I have no idea what's going on. So I thought I knew why the character Hope, or so-called I should say, because we don't know for sure if Hope is her actual name, because obviously the car crash happened. She was then introduced to Lindsay, who then stopped to help her, and then fast forward, I don't know how long. Oh, fast forward 15? 14. Fast forward 14 years later, and then Hope has moved to East Hampton, and Hope's disappeared. And a man's body's been found, presumed drowned. It was looking like it had been an accident. You can see where I'm going with this. It's now looking like it's been a murder. And I thought somebody we'd been introduced to had killed that man. Now I'm not so sure. And now I'm really confused. And I'm not sure whether I'm enjoying this or whether I'm just going round and round in circles. But I can safely say I've never read anything like this before. So I am going to continue reading it because I'm actually not that far from finishing this. And I've also started reading what's it called? Hot Dog. I think it's called Hot Dog Girl, and it's by Jennifer Jugar. I want to say Jugan. Jennifer Jugan, I think her last name is. Now, I've had my eye on this book for quite a while, since COVID, since lockdown. Don't know why I haven't picked it up, don't know why I haven't seeked it out, but the library had it, didn't need to wait for it to, like, a reserve wait time. So I thought, okay, I'll listen to that. I need another audiobook to listen to. So yeah, it seems a bit juvenile. I'm not quite sure whether this is a YA book. I think it might be, so that could be why. I like the premise of it. It's set kind of like in a little mini amusement park where kids who are just about to leave high school, or rather, sorry, let me rephrase that. Kids are about to graduate high school, go on to college. Obviously, they want a summer job, they want to earn a bit of extra money. So that's what's happening. That park is now looking like to close down, and no one at this moment in time knows why. So it'll be interesting to see, like, what's the reason? Why is that park closing down? Obviously, the obvious motive is it's a small amusement park. It's going to be financial. But at the same time, there are multiple relationships going on here. I think there's at least 3 relationships that are on the rocks or going to happen. So, which I don't see them going to happen. So I can't even remember these characters' names, but there's one heterosexual relationship that could happen. There's another heterosexual relationship already happening. There is a lesbian relationship that had happened and is no longer happening. This is getting a bit complicated, I'm sorry, there's no other way that I can think about explaining it. And there's a lesbian fake dating going on. However, one of those girls, I'm dead certain, is bisexual. So a lot of our LGBTQ references going on in this book, which I quite like, actually. Quite suits it. But there's a lot of characters going on and stuff like that. The amusement park itself actually sounds quite interesting. One of the rides reminds me of the gondolas in Italy. There's another ride is an old-fashioned merry-go-round, which kind of reminds me of Mary Poppins. Yeah. So that's that. I am going to finish Hot Dog Girl and The Girl She Was, and that will be the end of this vlog. 100% that will be the end of this vlog, because otherwise this vlog is going to go on forever. Hello! This feels like it's been going on forever. As you can see, we've got a new picture on the calendar there. It's Lilo and Stitch. So this vlog has been going on for a very long time. We started off with Dumbo, and then I can't even remember what we had in between then. It might have been Lilo and Stitch, I can't remember. But I'm editing, trying to get this finished, and realised I didn't speak a word of how Hot Dog Girl went. So I finished Hot Dog Girl, and it was very juvenile. And then I later discovered it was a YA rom-com. At least that was how it was described. So I can kind of understand that. However, I will say it did get better as it went on. However, the entire thing just frustrated me because of how juvenile it was. And like I say, it did get better towards the end. A great lesbian romance at the end. Although, hang on, one of them was definitely a lesbian, and the other one is actually bisexual. So I'm making sure I get the terminology right here. Don't want to offend anybody, but yeah, I just thought the way the characters acted was very childish at times, which makes sense. It's a young adult book, I guess. So yeah, and I was reading it through the audiobook. I got it at the library, so maybe that could have been a factor. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't gel with the narrator. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. So I can't even remember what rating I gave it. If I can remember, I'll put it on the screen. So yeah, that didn't go very well. And I hate to finish this blog on a sad note, but I finished The Girl She Was today. And whilst I can appreciate it from a writing point of view, it must have been very difficult to write. It was also very confusing from a reader's point of view. And again, it got better as it went on. So more unexpected things happened. I thought, whoa, okay. That came out of nowhere. And that was precisely why I wasn't gelling with it, because things kept coming out of nowhere. And some of it I can see why, because we need to understand the background of Hope Miller. We need to understand her identity. So how do we go about that? So I kind of sort of get that, and then more and more things start happening, and more things get uncovered from the past to the present. So it's difficult with that one, and respect to the writer. I again can't remember her name off the top of my head. But it hasn't put me off from adventuring more into her backlist, because it was written. Props to her for writing something so complicated. But yeah, so that's that. Thank you so much if you've made it this far. This has been a long one. A very long vlog indeed. So yeah, keep watching if you want more. Please comment, like, subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, or X as it's now called, and Instagram.